Check out shares of Boeing jumping 2% for its third positive day in a row. CNBC sat down with Boeing chairman Dave Calhoun earlier today, talking everything from the grounded 737 MAX plans to Boeing CEO Dennis Muilenburg. CNBC's Phil LeBeau is here with more from that big interview. Phil, what a catch.
Welcome to the NASDAQ.
It is good to be here. Look, there were two objectives for Dave Calhoun when he talked with us this morning. One, change the narrative from last week, which was an utter disaster for Boeing when Dennis Muilenburg was on Capitol Hill. And two, make it very clear to the market and to regulators that the Boeing board has the back of Dennis Muilenburg.
From the vantage point of our board, Dennis has done everything right from the beginning. It was sort of clear to us, no one was hiding anything. It was a set of engineering decisions that ended up being wrong. This control system will be fixed, and it will be safe, and it will have been tested like no other control system, at least in my history in the aviation industry. And this airplane will fly, and it will be safe. And I'll fly it, and my family will fly it. And the only way to win a brand back is not to advertise it or to talk about it, but to win it with every next flight.
One other piece of news regarding Dennis Muilenburg. Dave Calhoun said that on Saturday he received a phone call from Dennis Muilenburg, who last week, remember, on Capitol Hill, he was asked by senators and representatives, why are you being paid given the crisis involving the 737 MAX? He didn't really have an answer. He said that's up to the board. Well, on Saturday, he called Dave Calhoun and he said, you know what? Forget about my bonus and stock grants for 2019. Also, forget about them all the way until the MAX deliveries. They're caught up completely, which may not even happen by the end of next year. It could be early 2021 by the time they finally catch up with all of those deliveries. So his compensation question, they have put that to rest, at least for now. And don't forget, he's at Deal Book tomorrow talking with Andrew Ross Sorkin.
It's interesting that Calhoun had said that it was a series of engineering decisions. What did he say in response to TechSgate? That was one of the most memorable moments in those hearings. Yes. Why didn't somebody on your staff come running in with their hair on fire when they saw these texts?
Well, we did ask him about the emails and whether or not there was this culture of not telling everybody everything and essentially not a safe culture at Boeing. And what he said was, look, we reacted as quickly as we were alerted to information. That question is still out there, and regulators on Capitol Hill have said, we still want to ask more questions. In fact, they wrote a letter yesterday essentially saying, we want to ask more questions to Boeing executives about who knew what and when did they know it. But at this point, Dave Calhoun said, in their opinion, Dennis Muilenburg is not hiding anything. He is not trying to keep anybody out in the dark about what's happened with the MAX. That he says, look, he's been forthright from the beginning, and that's why we believe he is the person to lead this company right now.
Do you think not taking a penny of pay until the MAX backlog is resolved, do you think that alleviates the heat that they will feel from regulators in Congress?
No.
Right.
Because I think the heat is still. I think the heat is there. And I think that after being in Washington, I get the sense that not everybody in Washington is completely satisfied with what they heard from Dennis Muilenburg last week.
It seems like investors are satisfied. I don't know what you think.
Well, I'm not sure. I think investors have a lot of questions, too.
You're
Phil.
an investor.
And ultimately, it comes from when are we going to get the MAX, the first MAXs out? And so Q1 2020, if you listen to Hunter K., who I think is one of the best out there, Wolf, he's got them 42 coming out in January, 52 by August, and basically says you're down 50 planes by the end of the year relative to where people expected them to be.
If you can ramp up to 57 per month and also get those deliveries ramped up as quickly as they'd like to. That's going to be the real logistical operational challenge between January and July.
And is that because you don't have you might not have the workers back that you need to do the full ramp?
It's not that you don't have the workers. It's that you've got somewhere about 350 to 400 that were grounded, that were with airlines. Now you've got another, 250 to 300, somewhere in that range that have been built but have not been delivered yet. It's not a case where you can just flip a switch and say, go ahead, fly off and go somewhere. It takes some time to get those planes back in service.